There we go. Well, my goodness. Thank you, Robert Higgins. And thank you all for your patience. Thank you so very much. We're working through these things. Sometimes you just can't have anything. You have no control over technical difficulties. But I appreciate you all blowing my phone up, letting me know that you could not get in because I didn't know that those who were down and were having a problem getting in. So thank you so very much. We did push through and we made it. Thank you, Robert Higgins, Director of Communication, for being with us this morning to push us through that. And this is the team effort. All your host, Pastor Denise McDowell. I'm checking to see if my business partner, Pastor Dale, are you there, sir? And he may be still trying to figure out, but that's good. So what we're going to do
Denise,
is...
I'm waiting to hear from him. I don't know if he's having difficulty or not.
Okay. Well, that's okay because we're going to go ahead because we do know the family is dialing in, and we have a wonderful call today. We have two awesome testimonies. We're going to ask these two to come back again next week because we just want to make sure those who did try to get in at the top of the hour may not have tried back, and we just want to make sure that no one misses out on hearing what's going to be shared today. But thank you for all those who have doubted, who did push through, who persist, and did not quit. Sometimes that's what you got to do, just continue to persist and do not quit. That's what makes us winners. That's what makes us winners here in Team Effort Network. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get this call started with our wonderful testimonies. We have an awesome brother from the Atlanta, Georgia area. I understand he was in hooked up with Kevin Bond over the weekend, and they've been having some wonderful times learning about the video talk technology, hearing more about the vitamin sprays and the compensation plan, and just really getting things up and going and getting ready to just blow up Atlanta. And I was talking with him the other day, and he had such a wonderful art testimony on the vitamin sprays and what it's doing for him. And I'm so pleased to welcome to the call Mr. Raymond Baskin out of Atlanta, Georgia. Raymond, are you there, sir?
Yes. Good morning, Pastor Denise. I am. Thank you very much.
And I want to thank you for being here with us today. I really enjoyed the call that we had the other day speaking, and your testimony just warmed my heart. And you know me, I want everybody to hear all the good things that's happening in Team Effort Network. So you're on the call to share with everyone the wonderful conversation you and I had the other day. So I'm going to turn the call over to you. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you. Good morning, 10 team. I pray everyone is well this day. I've had several experiences since and testimonies from others since using the sprays. I, too, was another one who was kicking and screaming, no more multi-level marketing. And I was sent the spray by Dr. Vincent, and I tried it, and I started feeling a little more energy, but nothing that I took note of at first. A week later, after receiving the spray, I was asking another gentleman had he had any benefits from the spray, and he said he noticed a little more energy and that he was sleeping better. And at that time, I realized myself I had received the same benefits most of the week, getting up an hour or two earlier, feeling completely energized. That was on the Friday following receiving the sprays. This Saturday, I went out with my grandson and friends, and I was out running around, flying a kite, and throwing a frisbee. I had so much energy. I hadn't felt that level of energy in years. Another neighbor that I sprayed called me and, of course, asked me for some sprays, saying that when you sprayed me last night, I was on my way to the store, and about halfway to the store, I wanted to park my car and run the rest of the way because he had so much energy. Another young man I sprayed who was suffering from allergies, within less than 60 seconds, he said his allergies just cleared up. He was able to breathe completely. So those are just a few of the testimonies that I've received from other people, as well as a very good friend of mine who had a cyst on her foot for the last year and a half. He would often check her foot to see whether the cyst was decreasing in size. Well, she noticed after using the sprays, only 3 days, there was no longer a cyst on her foot. So she's just really in awe with the sprays, and it's cut her appetite, the slim, and her endurance at work has been tremendous since using the sprays. So we're very thankful to Mel and his wife for these sprays, and they're just doing wonderful things for many people.
Wow. Well, Raymond, I thought that was a phenomenal testimony. You shared and that was dealing with the sinus problems, and then you said you had sprayed them, and all of a sudden you realized that he wasn't dealing with the sinus issues anymore, and he got the results right away. Which is one thing you mentioned. You mentioned that you noticed how quickly people are getting the results from taking the sprays.
Yes, and that's what's been happening. You don't have to wait months or weeks. It's immediately, if not sooner.
Wow. Well, sir, I thank you so much for sharing with me. I just enjoyed the conversation we had. It's always good to hear. And one thing is just amazing to me, what we just said, is that how quickly people are getting results. I don't think I have ever known anything that I have spoken with so many different people, different parts of the globe, and their testimonies are, I'm feeling good, I'm feeling young. I wanted to do more things. I wanted to run more. I wanted to get involved. Like you said, your friend said, he drove his car, right, and then he wanted to park it and run the rest of the way. and this, it's just amazing, I think, how people are just getting their energy back, and they're enhancing their health, and they're just feeling better. And it just does good when you hear everyone you speak with that's taking the sprays that are getting health. And that part just blesses me beyond measure to hear that.
I concur. I agree with you.
Yeah. Well, Raymond, thank you for being with us this morning. It's so appreciated. We're going to have you back on the call again next week when we make sure that everyone that was supposed to be on the call today did get through, because we know we had some difficulties at the top of the hour. But we definitely want to invite you back again next week to share with you and what's happening in Atlanta, Georgia. So you and Kevin Vaughn hooked up in Atlanta, so you're about to blow up Atlanta, Georgia, right?
We are definitely in the process of doing just that.
Dr. Vincent was there in Atlanta. Was it last week?
He was in last week, and they came back again last night.
Oh, my goodness. So Dr. Vincent is not playing. He's on a mission. Dr. Vincent is, number one product in 10 is changing people's lives. When I met Dr. Vincent in Detroit, we discovered that's his same passion, to change people's lives, to give people a better way of living, a healthier way of living. And he's just he's just hit the pavement, and he's running. He's literally going from place to place, making sure everyone is know what he's doing and is getting involved and coming aboard and making a difference. So thank you once again for sharing with us. But hold on a minute. I got some of the conference call. Okay. And we appreciate that. Well, we have another wonderful testimony on the call today. And this young lady, as you all were listening yesterday, Samantha shared a heartwarming testimony. Samantha, we spoke about you last night on TTV, and Mr. Paul Jackson and along with Jerome Tuck, and everyone says, please don't start talking about her testimony, because we'll all stand here and we'll cry right now. So just let's not talk about that right now. But I also understand, Samantha, that your sister has a testimony as well, and you wanted your sister to come and share what the vitamin sprays has done for her. So, Samantha, I'm going to let you go ahead and say hello and then bring your sister on.
Oh, good morning. Good morning, Tent family. I'm so happy to be on the call this morning and to really, I want to share the testimony of my sister. She's here with us on the line. Sandra, are you there, first of all?
Yes.
Okay. This is my sister-in-law, Sandra. I brought her into this business because I knew that the sprays would help her after what they did for me. And so my sister-in-law is, I'll let her tell everybody about, herself. But she's a wonderful woman, this great person. I can't believe she's a miracle. She's amazing, because she's totally blind, and she has a lot of different diagnoses, and I'll let her explain that. But what she does is amazing to me. But she just needed a little push, and that's what her little sister is for here. So I'm gonna let you take it away, sister. And let everybody know who you are and what's going on. the sprays helped you.
Okay, my name is Sandra, and I'm 64 years old. And in 1972, I was poisoned for a drink, and it left me in a coma.
Sandra, I want you to start with, baby. I'm going to ask you to speak up a little bit louder. Your voice is so tender and so soft. We can barely hear you. We want to hear all the beautiful words that are coming out of your mouth. So you speak right up and you just shout your testimony, girl.
Okay. My name is Sandra. I'm 64 years old. And in 1972, I was poisoned through a drink which left me in a coma for 11 days. When I came out of the coma, I was totally blind and partially paralyzed from the waist down. They told me I never would walk. But thank God I had a brother that didn't believe in can't. And so he exercised me till I got the use of my legs. So I do walk. And like my sister said, I have several different diagnoses. I have osteoporosis. I have COPD. I have arthritis. I have diverticulitis. Hypertension. Poor circulation. And since I have been taking the sprays, thank God I have been able to wash my own body, lotion my own body, and I hadn't been able to lotion my own feet and legs for such a long time. And it was just really a blessing for me to be able to do that for myself. And I give thanks to the sprays for that because they have really helped me. And I have not taken a blood pressure pill in over 2 months.
Wow.
And my blood pressure is just great. I'm able to walk around my house without getting out of wind.
She's on oxygen, folks. She's on oxygen.
She's on the oxygen. She's on the oxygen tank, Samantha.
Yeah, she has an oxygen tank that I have to change out. When we take her out, so she's part of
24/7.
Yeah, 24/7, and she has a concentrator at home. So when we go out, we have portable. When at home, she's hooked up. So we have a line. She has a line that runs all through the house, but she hadn't been able to walk without getting out of wind. Go ahead, sister.
So I give thanks to the sprays for that, and even though I'm not able to get out, like most of my 10 family, but I do spread the word through the telephone and through family visits. And I'm just happy to be a part of the 10 family.
My goodness. Samantha, your sister, so she was saying, what sprays is she taking?
She's taking all 4 of the sprays because I was just worried about my sister because after a while, when she had gotten sick and she went to the hospital, she wasn't on full oxygen. She was just would sleep with it, at night. And then I could take her out, and she could come out and she would come out and guide herself down the stairs and just come. She's amazing what she does. But then after she got sick, she got on oxygen 24/7. So I was like, wow, and that took really a toll on me. I worried because it's like, wow, her quality of life is going down because now she has this oxygen all the time. And so as she was getting out, she'd come to my shows. I would just bring her. And I still do. But my thing is that now she would be so short-winded, and then she would have panic attacks because she couldn't, walk far, or if she would just panic. And so And the thing is that she would be sitting all the time, and so that's why I started getting my sister-in-law out, taking her out regardless. I don't care if I have to push her in a wheelchair. It doesn't matter. And so get her out, have her look pretty. I had her hair done. I mean, my sister-in-law is so fly. She's about the flyest sister in the wheelchair.
Oh, goodness, my goodness.
But, I mean, then she could get out now. She's getting get up out of her chair and now walk without having a panic attack. She's taken all 4. I gave her all 4 of the sprays because, I find my sister diving because I want to make sure she keeps these sprays. And, I sponsor her fully because I want her to. And she's been selling her sprays now. Now, don't let her get you fooled. She got some customers. And she goes out, and I've taken her. She went to 2 TTPs so far and told her testimony. People look at her and they can't believe it, But a lot of people won't know that she's blind because she has really pretty eyes. It's her eyes that didn't affect her eyes. So you can look at her and think that she can see. And a lot of people make that mistake because her eyes, she has a pretty greenish color, hazel type eyes. So my thing is that she took off 4 because she couldn't move. And I was worried about her gaining too much weight because she was petite. And she started gaining a weight, so I had to give her slim. And look, she's slimming down. Her clothes is getting big. She got a lot of weight on the slim, and she's looking good. And she came to my workshop. She was looking so good. Everybody was wanting to look at her, and she can get up. And she takes all 4 sprays. She has more energy. She can get up without having a panic attack, and that's so great because that's what I'm worried about. And she can move now. She's circulating her body. And so now she's moving again. And that was my main concern. I was so worried about myself sitting there in one place scared to get up. So these sprays have really helped her. Really helped her. And, wow, she's amazing. I look at her and I forget about myself because look at her on oxygen. Like and she's not just kidding. She haven't taken any blood pressure meds for about. She has energy. She can bend over, watch her. One time she thought somebody took her shoes. I was looking for her shoes and she got out of the bed and actually I was like, wait a minute, sister. She just said, wait a minute. No, I got to feel under this bed to see if I can use the box. Because my mom bought her like 5 or 6 pair of shoes for Christmas. And I said, box. And she said, wait a minute, where's my shoes? And so she had got on the floor and under the bed with a cave trying to find the box. So I couldn't believe it. I said, oh, my God, look at her move without her shoes. So it's amazing. Wow, man. I thank God. My sisters mean a lot to me. My sister-in-law and her brother who helped her to walk and stood her on his feet all that time. Walking around like she's a little baby, walking her to move her legs. That's my husband. Yeah. That's her brother. And he's in the business as well. And we just make sure that we take sister out to the TTPs, and she's definitely going to be at Penn University, so everybody will be able to meet her. And
this is incredible.
And she's a remarkable woman, just to do what she does, being, sight impaired in the first place, and move around. My sister go to an amusement park and stuff. She used to do that, I said, sister, you braver than all your roller coasters and stuff. But she can do so many things now from the sprays, and she's not depressed. She's not crying anymore and feeling like she can't do nothing for herself. And it's amazing. It's the sprays have really helped her, and she has always told me that they help. So I definitely want her to be on this call and let everybody know. Sister, you're a blessing, girl, and these sprays, you really made my.
Yeah, she is.
Wow.
Yeah,
wow.
She's
amazing.
Samantha,
the sprays, Mel and Amy is amazing.
Yeah, her name is Sandra, correct?
Yeah, Sandra Durgan.
Sandra, your story is going to change so many people's lives. She's oh my goodness, it has already. We have a lot of family members that's listening in. I call it the 10 family. We're family, one big family, from the UK to the U.S., from around the world. And everyone listens in, and they hear these stories. And when we get there on May 17th, we're going to be looking for you and Samantha. We're going to look for you, too, because your stories are just phenomenal. You were on oxygen tank 24/7, and now you're saying that you're not using the oxygen tank as much as you were, or you're just not using it at all?
I still use it. But my breathing is much, much better.
Breathing is much better. You said your blood pressure.
She's able to talk to you. She's able to talk to you now. Before, she wasn't able to talk without having so many breaths.
Right.
And so now it's like it's something has done something like even to her lung capacity.
To help her to breathe better.
Yeah, the pulmonologist even told her, like, your lungs actually are getting better. They told her before she only had 26% use of her lungs.
Whoo! Goodness.
That's what they told her, and it was very depressing.
That's what made it hard for her to talk.
Well, I put her on the sprays after hearing stuff like that, and then seeing how she was laboring, and when they had to call 911 because she couldn't breathe for the panic attack and all that. I said, "Oh man, you know what? I'm going to give Sister these sprays," and so that's what I did. So I gave it to her, got her signed up.
My goodness. And then,
look, I got to give it to her, you know.
Now, see, Samantha and Sandra, see, some people would take for granted that they are, not able to, that they can lotion their bodies, they can lotion their legs.
Yeah.
And here, right, Sandra? That's something that people take for granted. We do every day. We don't even think about doing it. And here, this is something you have not been able to do for quite some time. And now you're able to, as a result of taking a spray, able to bend over and reach out and lotion your own body.
I was unable to wash my own body, but I wash my body now.
Now you're washing yourself and everything. I tell you, this is what I said. Raymond, this is what I was talking about at the beginning of the call, when I said we keep hearing these stories of people literally getting their life back, literally doing things that they did not think they would ever be able to do again. When we spoke with a few weeks ago, Carlisa Washington, she lost 75 pounds, taking the Slim by 10, and she was obese, and she said she's now getting ready to walk a 2-mile walkathon. Something she said she's never imagined in her entire life that she would ever be able to do anything like that. And so we're hearing these wonderful, life-changing stories of people able to get their life back, able to do things, feel better, want to go out, want to be a part of what's happening as a result of taking these sprays. And Sandra, just like I'm going to be looking for Samantha on May the 17th, girl, I'm looking for you. Okay. And Samantha, we all going to have to dance on that stage. We're going to have to have a segment with Mel and Amy, because Mel's dad's name is Sam, and he's a good dancer. So we're going to make sure we get Sam and Mel and Amy and Sandra all on the stage, and we're just going to have a dance. We're just going to dance.
It meant that with Sandra doing that, you know what that means, Pastor Denise and Sandra, that I don't have to lotion your feet, legs no more, sister. You're doing
Wow. Well, Pastor Dale, did you hear that?
Well, I tell you that. I mean, wow. I mean, my mouth is open. I mean, just wow.
No.
You know, as you said, Pastor Denise, we take for granted the simple things that we can do because we have not been restricted. And when you take somebody like even Samantha and this young lady here, we are talking about being able to just take some nutrition. I mean, nobody even recommended to her, maybe you should just try some nutrition, And that's why I say that what we have in our hands is so important. And I'm so glad Samantha decided to go and give her the product.
Mm-hmm.
I said, let me get you on this product, so you can begin being healthier. I mean, she could have just let her go through life, having the difficulties she had. But she knew she had something in her hand that was vital and that could help her change her life. And she went and shared it. And all we're doing is sharing this company and its product. I am just floored. I'm so excited. I'm looking forward to meeting all of you.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, family, this life-changing story that we're hearing here, you know what? And this is only the beginning. And still, we haven't heard from everyone, from the Philippines, from Dubai to Mexico, where we also have the sprays, and get ready to go into the UK and Australia and Canada and Japan, and just imagine all the lives is going to be changed because of our vitamin sprays. And it's like we always say, we can't claim that our vitamin sprays can heal any condition that your body is going through. So you're hearing for yourself these stories of people whose lives, whose health has been enhanced as a result of taking these vitamin sprays. This is just incredible. I'm speechless. I am just speechless. I am just Sandra, you have blessed me today, lady. And you've blessed everyone that's listening. I know that your story, you keep telling your story. You hear that, lady?
I do.
You keep telling your story because this is only the beginning. And Samantha, you're right. You and your brother, your husband, her brother, you all continue to share what's happening and what's going on. So people can, someone else perhaps, someone who's listening today is probably dealing with that same thing or was dealing with that same thing. And now your story has been a witness to them. And this is what it's all about, our number one product, changing people's lives. Well, family, this go ahead, Samantha. Did you have anything else to say, dear, before we close out?
I just wanted to let everybody know that it really does make a difference in health, because by me spreading the word, the district, Newark Unified School District, the nurse of my children's school district, it just so happens that I was telling her, or she overheard me talking to my son's teacher about my diagnosis, my own, because they saw me on a cane and walker, and they were like, "Wow, Sam, you look so good. What did you do?" The principal at retired was subbing in because the principal is on maternity. So she was like, "Oh, my God, look at you." Oh, she hugged me and was like, "Oh, gosh, and you lost so much weight and you this and that." And I remember, and the school nurse heard her, the district nurse, actually, she's for the district, heard her talking about my diagnosis, and she came to me, and first she said she wanted some Slim. That's what she said off the top. And then when I told her about it, then she said, "Your diagnosis sounds just like my baby sister's down in L.A." And would you be, I tell her, listen, they're saying that they can't help her, and all these things that they said to me, and she, she just was touched, and she was so, overjoyed almost, because she said, "Wow, it sounds just like my sister." And she's 37 years old, and she's so young, and she's sitting down there just dying. They're giving her pain meds, or they just told her to go take some vitamin D. They didn't even give her the dose. So they just did that to her. So I told her, that I would talk with her if we thought it would help, and we could get the product. So now the district nurse is going to want to come in to see the presentation. She wants, to know more, and I gave her the brochure, and she's like, "Wow, look at you." And so I know it'll help my sister. So it does help. So when we get out to tell testimonies, it helps people. I got a whole congregation who wants me to come back and talk to their people, because they want them to know. And so, and it's a good feeling to know that you can help people. But that lady, that girl down there is young, and she needs some help. And so even if I have to go down there, maybe fly down there and see her, that's what I'm going to do, because I'm going to help her. And she needs help. She needs help. So I'm just letting you know, Pastor, and everyone on the 10th family, that the testimonies are real and they help. People will come to you, say, "Oh, my God, listen to that. It's got to help me." So, tell it. If you got some testimony, just share it. Share that. It's going to help somebody. I'm helping somebody in L.A. I'm in Northern California. She's in Southern. And her sister reached out to me to help her. And that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to teach her about how to use these sprays, and also and get her probably on the program. And I'm pretty sure she's going to definitely, she's already talked about sending her sister some. Wow.
So look at that. And you know what, Samantha, you said something that I've realized a lot with the 10 family, is that because of the results that we're getting in our own health, we are compelled to help other people. It's almost like we can't help to help other people. I was at an amusement park over the weekend with my children, and there was a lady, and she was walking around with an oxygen tank, and I was just compelled to go to her and tell her about the vitamin D, about the vitamin sprays. Any other time I probably would just walk by and, saw her and, thought about it, but I went to her, and I had to tell her. I had to tell her there is a solution for that, and share the vitamin sprays with her, and her entire family was just so grateful. It is something that happens when you're getting these wonderful testimonies, these wonderful results. You can't help but walk up to a total stranger that you see that's dealing with something and say, "Hey, I have something that might help you with that." and they're willing to listen and to take action. So, well, Raymond Baskin, what do you think about that? Did you hear that, sir?
Oh, it was a phenomenal testimony.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so we're just going to continue to hear more and more as we continue to do what we do, 10 Family. That's to share, and share. Continue to share these vitamin sprays. Continue, family, to take that positive risk and talk to a total stranger. Go out of your way and talk to someone. Someone might just pop on your mind for no reason. Just find a reason to reach out to them. They just may need to know about these vitamin sprays. Well, it's been a phenomenal call this week. Wow, we have really heard some things that has confirmed time after time that we are in the right place at the right time and we are changing people's lives. So I still encourage you guys, if you haven't gotten your tickets to 10 University, you need to be there. I think it's going to be an explosive moment. I think there's going to be so many great things gathered together that day. We're going to hear some things that's just going to change our lives. And I encourage you all to be there May the 17th at Treasure Island in San Francisco, to meet Samantha, to meet Sandra, to meet Ray, to meet Dr. Vincent, to meet everyone that's going to be there and hear the stories that they have to share as a result of our vitamin sprays. Well, I'm going to reach out to Anita Poole to bring us our quotes for today. Anita Poole's in the UK. And Anita, are you there to bring us our quotes?
I am here. Can you hear me okay, Denise?
Yes, Anita, I can. Wow, what do you think about that, Anita?
Oh, my gosh, Denise. There have been such amazing testimonials this week. Samantha, your sister is just fantastic. Raymond, great testimonial, and all the testimonials I've heard this week, and many of the other weeks, absolutely fantastic. Renetta, whose mother has dementia, Susan Rex Harrison, who's an author about vitamin D, endorsing these wonderful TEN products. Terry with his diabetes and high blood pressure improving. Samantha herself with, very severe inflammatory disorders, including ankylosing spondylitis. Dr. Rosie with fibromyalgia, various doctors as well as, the general public as well benefiting. Nina Lewis, Vern. I could go on. There are fantastic testimonials. And, we take our health for granted. We take the simple things in life for granted, exactly as Samantha's sister was saying. I've been in that situation where through illness you put on weight, you can't walk properly, you can't dress properly, you can't wash properly, you can't eat properly, you can't talk properly. It brings your life to a standstill. And the TEN products enabled my life to get out of a standstill. And it helps by helping the body help itself. Samantha's sister described a very, very classic example. Anyone who gets ill, often it is one thing, then affects another thing. You become less mobile, it affects your circulation. You become less mobile, it affects your weight. You become less mobile, it then affects various systems in the body. So if you can find something that helps to break the cycle, it then becomes a spiral up instead of a spiral down. And that's exactly the story that Samantha's sister was describing to us. And it's so fantastic, Samantha, that you shared the TEN products and you enabled your sister to come out of that vicious spiral. So, my heart goes out to all of you. So, and it's such a great testimonial to hear at this time, at the beginning of Easter as well. S.P. Gordon said, Easter spells out beauty, the rare beauty of a new life. Bethel Hume said, the great gift of Easter is hope. And actually, that's what the TEN products have given us. They've given us hope. Anyone with any illness, or indeed people without illnesses. In fact, exactly as Denise was saying, we don't claim to treat, cure, or prevent, but we know without a shadow of a doubt that these TEN sprays, every single one of them, are working synergistically, and they are benefiting people with many different types of disorders. But very, very characteristically, actually, a lot of the disorders we've heard about this week, the source of them is inflammation, whether it's putting on weight. In fact, research has shown that putting on weight is related to inflammation. Arthritis, blood pressure is related to inflammation. Things like ankylosing spondylitis, fibromyalgia, diabetes. Researchers are finding increasingly that most disorders are related to inflammation. And here we have Super 10, and then what's going to come, cell energy, even higher antioxidants to work synergistically with the Super 10, plus all the minerals, the vitamins, the natural ingredients that help us lose weight, all of them working synergistically. My goodness, there's so much hope in just those 5 products, and we're going to have 10. And, Samantha's sister has experienced herself in all the testimonials we've heard this week and all the other weeks, all the other months. People are experiencing hope. That's what the TEN sprays are giving people, and it's giving them back the beauty of a new life. So, John Keble said, "Thou art the sun of other days. They shine by giving back the rays." That's what has done for us all. It's given us back the rays of life, whether it's for peak performance, peak mental as well as physical performance, or whether it is, having struggled through illness and giving back the rays of sunshine in our lives to come out of that illness, and then the body help itself climb up. So, Plato said the part can never be well unless the whole is well. Benjamin Franklin said, energy and persistence conquer all things. Samantha, persisted. She didn't just take exactly what, and obviously I'm an ex-doctor, she didn't take just what the doctors were saying. She persisted to see whether something else would work, something natural like the TEN spray. So, we have something absolutely phenomenal in our hands. Hippocrates said, "Let food be thy medicine, and medicine be thy food." TEN sprays are natural, herbal, plant, and natural substances that the body needs, the body wants, the body can use, the body can recognize. It's like taking food, which is the natural thing of all, really. So, lastly, Henry Frederick Amel said, "In health, there is freedom. Health is the first of all liberties." In actual fact, with TEN, we have both first and second of all the liberties. Health is freedom. Wealth is also freedom. Wealth gives us the opportunity to be able to lead the lifestyle we want, to have less stress, to serve others with the money that we make, and to do a lot of good. We can do so much good with these sprays. We can do so much good with the money that we make from these sprays. So have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Easter weekend, everyone. And just remember, Isaac Bickerstaff said, "Health is the greatest of all possessions. A pale cobbler is better than a sick king." We've got it in our hands, the greatest of all possessions, a way to help people's health and wealth. Back to you, Denise.
Thank you, Anita Poole. And aren't you all happy that you persisted to be on this call today in spite of the little difficulty we had at the beginning? Sometimes that, patience is a virtue. You just wait and you end up being blessed beyond measure. We're going to bring this call to a close. We're going to try to. Kevin Vaughn, I know you're there in Atlanta, Georgia. We got to hear your voice before we go into the weekend, sir. And are you there, Kevin Vaughn?
Absolutely. Welcome to the future. Welcome to the future. Can you hear me okay, Pastor?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, I'll tell you one thing I want you and Pastor Dale to talk to Mel and Amy about is that we're going to need our own tissue line with the 10 logo on it. Because I tell you, man, we are going to need it. We are going to need it with all these wonderful testimonies. So I hope that we get our own tissue line one day with the 10 logo on it. It's going to be incredible. Oh, I tell you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as Anita Poole, you are amazing. Nothing more to say about that. She is just an awesome individual, and you guys just have a great weekend, and welcome to your future. Back to you, Pastor Denise. You guys did a great job. What an awesome week. Awesome week.
Thank you. Well, family, thank you so much. Samantha, Sandra, Raymond, Sarah, thank you all for being here to share your thoughts. We're definitely going to have you back on the call again next week. And everyone, check your calendar. Check the calendar of events. Go to teamfnetwork.biz. Scroll down to the bottom. Click on Calendar of Events to find out where a Super Saturday or a Super 10 event is taking place this Saturday, or a TTP, or someone's having something this weekend. Make sure you get there to be a part of that. And go out there and do just what Samantha, Sandra, and Raymond are doing, and that's changing people's lives. Thank you all for being here with us today. You are so greatly appreciated, family. You really are. And be back on the call Monday morning, 8 o'clock a.m. Pacific, 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, to hear more great life-changing stories and about Team Up Network. Mel and Amy Gill, we love you so much, you and Sam Gill. We love you all so much. Family, know this. You are loved, and you are greatly appreciated. God bless you all.
Have a great weekend, everybody.